tonight the first time. Just want to explain that do not let anything make you nervous, scare you off. If it seems too technical or too hard, there are plenty of tutorial videos in the members area, and of course that's what these webinars are for, also to help to teach you how to use the tools and how to help build on your business. So don't let that scare you away. Okay, all right. All right, well, let me go ahead and I'm going to get okay, Steve, yeah, I will be doing some more WordPress training once the authority blogs are released. Then we'll start covering them so that everybody will know how to work with their blogs and have full control, so which are based on WordPress. So I will be doing more training as soon as that's available. Right now, we're trying to get everybody up to speed as far as using the tools inside of Pure Leverage. So that's the purpose of me doing these trainings right now, focused on the Pure Leverage tools. Okay, yeah, please do not be putting anybody's email address in the text box. I thought I had that turned off, but please do not use any URLs or email inside of the actual text chat box. And I'm going to go ahead and clear the screen right now. I'm going to bring up the presentation and I'll start, and then again I will come back with answering some questions. So let me start my presentation for tonight. All right. So what we're going to work on tonight, and let me go ahead and stop the chat box for just a little bit here. If you have questions, just write them down, and then I'll come back and we'll make sure that I try to answer them, or I'll provide a way of getting them to me. What I'm going to work on tonight is I've actually had emails I requested last week. If some people had questions, to send them to me at questions@vtechteam.com, and I would review them and then come back and try to answer them during the actual conference. Normally I'm not going to answer them personally. Every once in a while I do, but as a general rule, I do not answer them because it gets to be too many of them, and I just can't answer that many emails and still try to take care of business. So first off, I want to start out with a little saying I noticed in a store the other day, and it's about staying positive. If you can't see the bright side in life, then polish the dull side. And I really like that saying, because if things just don't seem as good as you want them to, you can start making changes to change what's going on in life. And it's about staying positive. It's too negative in this world, and negativity will pull you down. If you're around negative people, it'll pull you down. The deal about positive affirmations is very true. As long as you stay positive, even though you'll have some ups and downs, you just step back and get back on track and staying positive. If you start staying negative, saying negative things all the time, then that's exactly what you attract, is negative things, and it actually will pull you down. I know we all have some rough days, and I go through rough days just as well as everybody else does. But our focus in life needs to be to stay positive, especially when it comes to the internet business, technology. When there's a little technical glitch that takes place, we step back and regroup. If it's something we make changes at, we make the changes. If it's something that involves other people that have to make the changes, then we let them take care of them. But we don't let it destroy our attitude and take us into that negative mindset. So I really did like that sign. I just wanted to share that with you. Also, the new members, there have been quite a few little posts that have been made and comments made about it was too technical and they were going to have to cancel because of it being too technical. And I would really hate to see you leave because you think it's too technical. It does get easier. Certain parts of it will seem extremely technical at times, but believe me, over time, especially if you're brand new to internet marketing, over time you'll learn and it'll all be very simple to you. It's just a lot of information sometimes. So come back and just keep watching the tutorial videos that are in your members area. Get in there and play around with the tools. You're not going to break anything. So with the conference room, the autoresponders, the video email, play with them. Send emails to yourself or to your friend until you get comfortable with those tools. The best way to get over being afraid to use them is to actually use them and get experience with them. So you're not going to break anything, and it will give you a lot more confidence once you get used to using them. It'll become second nature to you. I mean, it's kind of like I bought a new cell phone a couple of days ago. The whole thing is totally new to me, and I could get frustrated and walk away and say, I'm not going to try to learn something new. But I believe it'll be a great benefit. I like the features of it, so I'll take the time to learn it. And that's exactly what you're doing here, but you're really building on your future. Again, Pure Leverage is a business, and it's a business opportunity that gets you into business cheaper than any other thing you could ever get started with and actually have a solid, legitimate business. Now, has there been some technical issues that people have reported? Yes, and they've been continuously worked on and corrected as we come across them. But again, the business itself is very stable. It's a very good way of getting started in internet marketing, especially when you get the product, which is the tools to sell, and the training that goes along with it. So don't let the technical issues scare you away. Don't let negative thoughts scare you away. Just stay focused on what you can do in this business. And as long as you're doing that, you'll build a solid business. The true fact is there'll be about 95% people that'll be right on the verge of success and they give up. You have to get out of that comfort zone. I started getting out of my comfort zone to even be able to do these webinars because I worked on a one-to-one basis on a lot of my clients for many years. But to expand, I need to be able to train and work with more people at one time, and the only way to do it was step out of my comfort zone. And my business continues to grow because of it. So just work at it that way, and I think you'll be very pleased. Now, what I want to show you here is we're going to go through a couple of slides, and then I will do desktop sharing. But I want to point out a few things that there's been some questions on. And now there could be some other issues as well, but had a report that when emails were going out, they were using the first part of the email address for the subscriber's first name when they were using the insert field for the subscriber first name. The fact is, as you see with this example of the cutout of the actual landing page, anybody coming in only enters their email address, so they do not enter a first name or a full name, so there's nothing in the database as a name. So if you include the insert field in your follow-up messages to insert the subscriber's first name and there is no name in the database, then it will take the first part of their email address and insert it as their name. Now, If you've got code and you've built your own landing pages, or you made changes to code, and if you do not have the insert field spelled exactly correct, can also cause that problem. So based on the ones we've got now, I'm going to assume that most of them is because they just didn't have the name in there. And when you're doing that, you need to just go ahead and put in the, hi friend or whatever it may be that you want in that follow-up, because realizing there is no first name already in there. All right, the next question I had was about the stats on your mailing list. Now, as you can see from this graph, I highlighted one deal was the bounce rate, and the reason is because it's extremely high. Now, when you're doing an opt-in, getting good email addresses, this rate should be way, let's going to say less than anywhere from 0.9% to maybe 2%, 3%, but nowhere close to 14. Now, what the bounce rate that I've got highlighted means that it could have been a bunch of bad email addresses entered. And a bounce rate is caused by two different ways. There's a soft bounce and a hard bounce. The soft bounce is normally because either the receiver's email service is the service itself is down, or having server problems, or that person's email box is full and it's just not currently accepting. And normally a soft bounce, it will be delivered either when they empty their email box or the service comes back up, if that whichever may be the case. Now, the hard bounce is normally because it's either an email address has been misspelled or that email address has been deleted. And so those emails will never be delivered. The bounce rate recognizes when they get these back, and it's basically telling you this percentage of your list did not receive the email because it was a bounce. Now, I didn't highlight the others, but I will explain. Where you see it says send, that's how many emails it'll send out. Now, this one is very low since this is just my test account. The open will indicate how many people actually opened that email. The clicks will indicate how many people actually clicked on any links in that email. Now, if you're just sending an information email and it doesn't have anything for them to click in, naturally it can't register that. But if you have a link that takes them to an opt-in page, just like you are with Pure Leverage in that email, then it's going to register that click. Then the active will always show you how many people are active in that autoresponder. Now, the reason this one shows 0 right now is because I cleared out all of the subscribers since this is a test account. Then pending is the ones when you're doing a double opt-in that opted in, but they have not clicked on the confirmation link in the email. So until they click that confirmation link, they're not active. And when you send out a broadcast from that autoresponder, it is not sent to the people that are still pending. That would cause a spam problem. Until they click that link, giving the authority to go ahead and send emails, then they don't become active. And then your unsubscribe is going to be anybody that's been on that campaign that has clicked on the unsubscribe link. Now, that can be people that do not want to receive your email, or that can be caused by the fact that when you're doing an email blast, make sure that you send it in HTML and text mode. If some of your subscribers are only receiving email in text mode, and you do not include that content in both of them, all they see in that email is the unsubscribe link. And some people will click it not realizing that they're actually removing themselves from that list. And then the block column will be that person has elected to block you from sending them email. So those should help you to kind of understand what your stats are using the campaign stats inside of your autoresponder. Okay. Now, there still seems to be a lot of confusion what the difference is between the lead capture system, the business campaigns that are underneath your lead capture system, and the autoresponder system. The difference between them is the lead capture system is focused on promoting Pure Leverage as a business. It's the one that has the autoresponders preloaded with all of the follow-up messages. It's the one where you can select your landing page that's already been pre-done for you. Now, if you're promoting, you can still promote Pure Leverage through any other website you want. You can actually start your own autoresponder in the separate area. But this one was done for especially people that are getting started out. And I know many experienced marketers are still using the Pure Leverage lead capture, even though they're experienced in building their own. They're using them to use for the landing pages. Now, under the lead capture, you still see where it says your business 1 and your business 2. In the beginning, this was the autoresponders included with Pure Leverage. So what it was is you had the autoresponders for promoting Pure Leverage, and you had 2 autoresponders that were going to be to promote your own business, no matter what niche it is. After Pure Leverage launched, and after many requests, Joel decided to add the full autoresponder, the one you see highlighted over on the left. This is where you build your own campaigns. The ones that are under the lead capture, where it's your business 1 and your business 2, you can use, but I highly recommend that if you're promoting your own business, in any other type of business outside of Pure Leverage, to use the full autoresponder. Leave everything under the lead capture system for promoting Pure Leverage. And I'll show you when I go to desktop sharing why that even promoting under your business 1 and your business 2 is really better of creating a new autoresponder campaign in the full autoresponder instead of using those. So I'll cover the difference there. And then after I kind of cover that, I'm going to actually show you, I covered this last week, but there was still some confusion about the custom templates in the video email. Now, I am still working on creating more videos that will be in the tutorial section. But I want to go ahead and cover this right now, try to help people that sent the emails requesting me to help explain this a little bit better. And again, then, as I just mentioned, I'll look at the lead capture and autoresponder difference. I want to point out why you want to use the autoresponder instead of using the ones under the lead capture system for your own business. And then I'm going to review a few of the things that are available to you in the CPA Analyzer and show you how to use it so that you're tracking the results on your Pure Leverage business. So that when you are either using solo ads or whether you're using forum marketing, however you're driving traffic, you'll have a way of tracking which way is working and which isn't. That'll be the biggest part on that. So let me go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and bring up desktop sharing and we'll walk through some of those. I'm going to get that launched. And again, anybody has questions, please write them down. Hang on till we get back at the end after this presentation, and I'll try to answer as many as I can that time allots. Okay. Everyone should have a full screen up. And I should have had this loaded. I apologize, but let me get it loaded real quick. Okay, everybody should be seeing the Pure Leverage dashboard. We'll go ahead and start from there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start off with the video email service, talking about the custom template. And when you come into here, I'm just going to scroll down so that because all I'm covering is how to do the custom template. We went through the actual sending the emails last week, but I want to teach on the choosing and creating your own template. So as you can see, the video that's shown there and then the promo that I'd uploaded last week, I'm just going to go ahead and select on the promo. And then the next one is to choose the actual template. Now, you've got these that you can select as we covered last week. Choose any group of these and pick out any one you want. But then you can also click where it says Add Custom Template. And the first thing we need to do, if we're going to create a background, we need to click on Upload Image that's in the upper right corner. And we're going to scroll to where we have our image saved that we want for the background. Now, I recommend 1000 pixels by 600. Now, it will automatically copy it at that size, so if the image is a lot larger, it's going to crop it at that 1000 by 600. So the best thing is to create your images at that size. Now, if you're using a bit larger than 1000, but because of the design, there's nothing that's really out on the edges of them, you see the emblem in the center. So you can actually pick any one of those and still be pretty good with the layout. Otherwise, create yourself an image or resize one. And just like you see the template behind my PowerPoint, I actually went in and resized one of those images to make it into my video template. So if I select it and click on Open, you'll notice that it downloads it and places it behind the video. Now, we could actually drag some of this around, but the first thing we really want to do is go ahead and click on Save up in the upper right corner. Now the template will open up with our background, and we're ready to grab the video, select it, and just drag it to wherever we want it on that page. Now where the content goes, we want to go, and at the bottom, you can only do this at the bottom or the right-hand side. So go to the bottom till you have a double arrow, select it, drag it up, make it smaller, then put your cursor inside and drag it down to where you want it. And you can move these anywhere on the screen depending upon what background image that you have. And you can adjust these based on that text. So again, the image for the background is 1000 by 600. So I recommend you create your own image for that, unless you want to use one of the PowerPoint templates that's in the VIP account. You can go in there and actually resize it if you want the rounded edges at the top, just like you see with mine. If you don't, it's going to be larger and it'll crop it, so it'll just go all the way off the side of the screen. I mean, it'll look good on the screen, but it won't have the rounded edges. So, again, do this by playing around with it. Don't let it scare you. You're not going to ruin anything. And then when you're ready, once you've got the text box in place, click inside. It'll open up the editor. Click again inside so that you can actually enter your text. And when you're through, click on the X and you'll see your text there. Then you can click on the preview. And this is exactly what your visitors or the ones that you send this to will see on their screen when they click that link inside their email. Okay? Go ahead and close that. And then when you're through, go ahead and click on Create. And it'll go ahead and be ready to send. So, now, if I was to scroll up, you'll notice, even though this looked like it was on a different page, it's actually on the same page that we enter our content. So by just scrolling up, we can come back up and select who we're going to send it to, or we can select one of our campaigns and retype our message, whatever we need to do, before we actually hit the send button or the create button at the bottom. Okay. Now let's go ahead and look again at the lead capture system. Now, this is what part you was going to see on that slide earlier. The top campaigns are the ones preloaded for Pure Leverage. Those are the ones that you can click and edit the messages, but these are the ones you're using to promote Pure Leverage. The ones below were originally going to be for you to build your own campaigns for your business. Again, this was the original part of Pure Leverage. But again, after request, Joel decided to give you all a full-blown autoresponder capable of 100 campaigns. So you got a lot more capability, and that's the reason I recommend that you use the autoresponder for your business instead of the ones that you see on the screen. Now, as you'll notice, there is no options here for the forms up on the top menu, because these were a pre-built system. Now, the business was going to have a few things done to it, but nothing was changed since they added the full-blown autoresponder. And the reason I'm going to say that you need to use it, this one allowed you to pick a lead capture page for your business. And these are different than the ones that are for Pure Leverage. In other words, if we select Pure Leverage, we see the leads and the landing pages that we could select from that were already pre-built for Pure Leverage. Now, if we go back, first off, also notice this is not a problem. Underneath where I just selected to choose the lead capture page, you'll notice the three right below it for the other campaigns are grayed out or dark, and you can't select them. That's because you're only leading everybody to the Pure Leverage lead autoresponder first. There is no landing page for the others. Those are loaded once somebody that's in your autoresponder for the leads is converted over to a customer, and then to a reseller, and then even to the VIP. The only place you have to select is the very first one to choose your lead capture for that Pure Leverage. Now, under your business, they actually had built optional landing pages because they were going to be for other businesses. And if you clicked on Customize, you could come in, put your cursor in them, and select and retype any of the wording inside. underneath in the next box, and even at the bottom. So you could change the text to what you wanted and then save the changes. However, you could not change, and you still cannot change, the information at the very bottom of that page. Now, that could be removed, but again, because the full autoresponder was added to your members area, there's really no need to even use this page. Now, I'll still speak with Joel about this, about possibly removing it, but all of these relate to Pure Leverage. They take them to that disclaimer for Pure Leverage, and you cannot change the content on these pages. So currently, if you're going to use these, you still need to use them focused on the Pure Leverage business. So even though they are capture pages, remember that in your autoresponder, you have the capability under forms of using even a lot more forms that you can put on your own website. You create just a generic form, which is just the box for the name and the email with a button, or you can use the form wizard where you have a number of nice design opt-in boxes that you can place on your website. And there are a large number of them. And if you're building it for your own business, most likely you already have your hosting account and you have your website, so you're going to want to use these forms anyway. And you'll notice this is generic, but they have them for business, health and fitness, real estate, opportunities, and then wide opt-in form. So you can select any of these and use the code with these nice looking opt-in boxes. So again, the best place to come when you're building a list for your business outside of Pure Leverage would be to use the full-blown autoresponder. Inside of Pure Leverage, use the lead capture system to draw the ones in with that have already been done for you and preloaded. And I think you'll find that it works a lot better. I also have the question about sharing. Inside of the full autoresponder, when you're inside of your campaigns, you actually have a share code. And you can select if it is a shared campaign. So if you're building a campaign that you want to share with your team, or if it's in another business that you want to share it, again, this works with any other business or network marketing. So in addition to your Pure Leverage business, if you are a member of some other network marketing program, you can still use this and build the campaigns, and you may want to share that campaign with team members in that other network marketing program. So this is a great way of doing it where you do not have the same option under the Pure Leverage in the lead capture system. Okay? All right. Now let's go ahead and scroll down the CPA Analyzer. Now, the CPA Analyzer is only for your Pure Leverage business. It's not for tracking anything in your other campaigns in the autoresponder or anything that's not related to Pure Leverage. And if you'll scroll to the bottom, you'll notice where you have to create a campaign under the CPA Analyzer. Now, it's very important to use this because you want to be able to track the results. You want to know if what you're doing is working, whether you're spending money on it or not. If you're going out and doing forum posting, but you're not getting any traffic, then you need to look for another alternative or another forum to be posting on and not the one that you're currently posting at. If you're doing solo ads, especially because you're paying, you want to track to make sure where those leads are coming from. If they're not coming from the ads you're paying for, then you may want to look for a different solo ad provider. If you're doing AdWords, now that's getting a little bit more with the more experienced marketers, but no matter what it is you want to track, you need to follow through to see what you're doing to make sure you're getting a good return off of your investment, whether it's in money or in time. Now, the way it works, actually, there is no place that it's stored. Only thing the CPA campaign does is when you type it in, it adds it to the end of your normal URL that you promote. In other words, if you'll notice, the first part of this is the same as the affiliate URL when you go to your lead capture page that you're going to send them to. And there is one for each one. So you pick out which lead capture page you're looking at. And if I go back up under our level 1 marketing, actually under promotional tools will also take us there where it says your affiliate URLs. You'll notice launch /1, 2, 3, 4, watch video, 6, Ferrari. You see the names. You look at these and decide which one that you want to use. For example, if I was going to use this one that has 2013 on it, I see that the number 6 is in that affiliate link. So when I come back to my CPA Analyzer and I click on Create a Campaign, I scroll down, all of these are going to be the same. So if I was going to, for example, I was going to do a solo ad, and I just put in solo. You notice it automatically added it to the links. This is all it takes. You don't even have to use this to create the campaign. You can actually add the ampersand, campaign equals, and whatever word you want, and it'll automatically track it. So you can create these on your own without even coming into this program to create it. It's just doing it so that it makes it easier for you to grab that URL. But if you add the ampersand, campaign equals, and any name, so if you're getting ready to put an ad in and you want to place it in one spot and then immediately in another one, you can actually just change the name and go ahead and this last part, add it to it, and go ahead and post the URL. You've got the URL. Now, for our example, we said the number 6. So if we highlight the one that has the 6 in it, then we have our URL. I'm going to go ahead and right-click and copy. And I'm going to open up Notepad. And paste that so you can see a lot clearer when it's just one line. And this is going to be the URL that you want to put with that campaign. Now, this is a long URL, especially if you're going to do something like this in Twitter. That is way too long to be using in Twitter. So what you're going to do is use a shortening service. There are many of them out there. One of them that's well known is called Bitly. So if I went ahead and copied that URL, and if I was to go ahead and paste it, and you notice it's got the word solo at the end, it's going to bring up a page. Well, I may have grabbed the wrong one. Okay. Once I go ahead and enter my email, it'll take me to the landing page. And it'll start playing the video, which will have the sales content once the video has finished. Now, if I come back over here, and refresh my page, You notice now under campaigns, the word solo shows up. You also notice that I've got one lead. That means that I'm tracking what comes through on that specific URL with that campaign. It will actually track on all these campaigns. The view is the number of pages that were viewed. Now that can be a pretty high number because one person can view multiple pages. Visits are the one that you really want to pay attention to. This is the number of individuals that came, each one of them having a different IP. The views can be one person that's come back to your site 10 times trying to make a decision. But the visit is going to show them as just being one. And then the lead, because I opted in, it went ahead and recorded it as I've got one lead. Now, this will, with that person, once it's been receiving the follow-up, joins or actually goes ahead and purchases Pure Leverage, then it's going to show you that you've got a sign up. And it's going to show you the amount of money you earn. So this allows you to track all the way through from the point of each individual, how many actually came to your website. So you want to pay attention to the visits. So if you bought a solo ad that was 700 visitors that was supposed to come to your account, and you got 20 visits, then you've got 20 people that actually visited from that campaign. Out of that, if you got 2 leads, or however many, that'll tell you how many actually opted in. The visits is going to be how many they came to the page. Leads, they actually opted into the list to find out more. Sign-ups means they actually purchased. And again, don't give up because people don't buy the first time. That's the purpose of the follow-up emails. Many people will not buy until they've received an email several times or until they've had time to investigate what the offer is. And then they may show up a week later, 2 weeks later, a month later, and actually go ahead and purchase. The thing is, they've already came through your affiliate link, so whenever they come back, even if they were to go to the live training like you're on right now, if they came to they went through your affiliate link originally, and then they came to the live training without your affiliate link, they have already been cookied to your affiliate link. A cookie is left on their computer that tells who that affiliate is. And again, inside Pure Leverage, as well as GVO, we try to maintain integrity to find out who brought anybody into the system. No, we don't want anybody that done the work of trying to generate traffic and then having somebody taken away from them. So, but this is a great way of following through the tracks. Now, we go to CPA campaigns, you'll notice the campaigns are just listed. And if you decide you want to do away with one of them, you get a long list. You can select delete and remove it. The commissions will actually show up. If the person purchases, it will actually show a list of those campaigns and the commissions earned for each one of them per month. Your stats will show you how many people came in, how many actually left a lead, and how many signups. This is kind of based on the pages. So if you're doing many promotions, you can do this based on the pages that they came through. As you noticed here with the ones I've been playing with, these were different landing pages. That was to be the one with launch, had 2 people. The word entrance is the same thing as somebody visiting the site, and then the lead means they actually opted in. The browser stats will actually show you how many people have come through your page and what the browser is. Now, most of the time, this isn't important. This only really applies if you're using some other pages or you're curious about what people are using to get to the website. But It's showing one on Chrome because that's what I just loaded up. Firefox was on another one that I've been using, and then 5 came through on Internet Explorer. Also tells us Windows. This part really doesn't give you a lot of stats as far as what is working and not, other than the fact it's just telling you what the rate of people were that was coming from the different browsers. The visits will actually show you based on date. Notice today's date, 6 views, had 3 visits, average view, and it'll give the average amount of time that was spent on that page. If somebody comes and leaves immediately, they're not being on the page long enough, and this is where you may want to make some changes to the pages to try to get them to stay longer. And then depth. Depth will actually follow through the pages. Now this shows 10 plus pages. Most likely you're never going to see it get that high. You'll see how many people come through on the first page. And then when they opt in, they're taken to a second page. And then if they click on another link in that page, they'll be showing up under the third page. So it shows how many pages they travel through on that website of gathering information about that opportunity or whatever the website may be about. But since this is totally based on pure leverage, it's giving you an indication how interested they really are about following through on the number of pages. Again, don't let this confuse you. Don't let it discourage you. If it's confusing right now, don't even worry about it. The only thing you do need to do is make sure that you create campaigns when you start advertising so that you can grab the URLs and go through with that campaign so that you'll know how many people are coming in, actually opting in, how many people may sign up, and then the commission. This way you know what is actually working. Even the amount earned over here is not as important as far as what the stats are going. You're wanting to know the biggest part is the visits and the leads. How many individuals coming from different IPs, so these are all different people, not one person coming back over and over. How many different people are coming to your website through that specific form of advertising or traffic generation, and actually how many leads. In other words, how many people actually gave you their email address and joined the autoresponder to get more information. Those are the two most important parts of this stat. As a new person, that's all you need to worry about. So type in any name here. If you was going to do something through Facebook, you could put Facebook. Come down and grab the URL and paste it on Facebook. Now, I mentioned earlier about it being a long URL, and especially on Twitter. If we'll go up and type in bit.ly, that's bit.ly. Now you can create a free account if you want, but you don't even have to create an account. Up in the upper right corner, you'll see where it says paste the link to shorten it. So I'm going to come back over here in the example. And here was a long URL. Now, knowing that in Twitter we can't have any more than 140 characters, that's a lot of characters that would be wasted. We wouldn't even have time to explain what an offer was. But by coming over to bit.ly, and again, there are many others out there, but this is one of them. If I write and paste that link in there and just click on shorten, you'll notice here's the new URL. That's the one that I would put in my advertisement. Now down below, you'll see where it's got it listed and it gives you the full URL. But if I copy that, open a tab, and paste, you see how short it is. Hit enter, it takes me again to the pure leverage offer. So use this to help shorten them, to put it in your code instead of having to use the extremely long one, especially on things like Twitter, where you need a short URL that you're promoting with. Okay? All right, well, I'm going to come back to the room now and see if I've got some questions. Unlock the room. Okay. Chat has been unlocked. Did everybody get something out of that? And do you have any additional questions about that? Gary, the video email does use the Pure Leverage Autoresponder database campaigns, or you can actually, it's got a spot to enter a few. If you're just sending a few of them out to, 4 or 5 people, you can actually do that too by just saying send to a friend and putting their email there. But the autoresponder is there for the Pure Leverage, so you can send it to any one of your Pure Leverage campaigns, and that's a great way of promoting Pure Leverage. Is create your own video, because this is a relationship business. When people see that you're a real person, it's a lot easier for them to believe in you and be interested in the offer than what it is if they just see a plain email sometimes. So it's a great way of growing your downline and getting more people involved with your. And then after that, again, even if you followed along with Joel earlier, he was talking about if you was promoting and you had, say, for 50 leads or less, how to build a relationship with them, then that's a great way of doing it. Go in there, record a video, select your Pure Leverage leads campaign, and send that email out to them. Okay. Let me see if I can catch up with some of these questions.